Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome back from the Thanksgiving holiday season. Larry here.
And Anthony here.
And welcome to the Retro Gamers. Did that a little backwards. It's been a little while. What's going on, Ant? How was your Thanksgiving?
Filling. How was yours?
It was the turkey sandwich I had at JFK Airport was phenomenal.
Oh, it was? Did you actually have a turkey sandwich at the airport?
Yeah, my mother bought me and my dad a turkey and cheese sandwich from Starbucks.
Oh, so she actually made you eat turkey.
Yeah, it was terrible.
That's awesome.
Meanwhile, fast forward to landing in Tampa. We stay at the Tampa Airport Marriott, and we go to the bar. It's me and my parents, because we were down in Florida for a wedding. And we just got some bar food because we were hungry. Meanwhile, a couple pilots show up, and the bartender's like, oh, we have some Thanksgiving meals left. And they bring out like a plate of stuffing, turkey. Here we are eating nachos. Like, why didn't you tell us this was available on Thanksgiving?
Because they hate you.
So, but it was a good Thanksgiving. I was down in Florida, saw family, so a lot of family I haven't seen in a while. So a lot of family I've never met. And I introduced all of them to the podcast. So
of course you did. I hope you gave every single one of them a business card.
I would have if I would have had them on me. So I was at a wedding.
Them with you?
No, I was at a wedding. I wouldn't have had it on me.
What better place to pilfer yourself than at a wedding?
I should have. And the DJ, I could have gotten him to pass out a bunch too. He was like a game show host. Good Lord.
Oh, that would have been perfect.
Yeah. But actually, some of my cousins have been listening to the show, and then trying to explain what we talk about to my still my cousins, who's 11 and 15, just kind of staring a blank hole right through me, like, what are you talking about?
Well, because they're children, and children are stupid.
They're like, not them, they're my cousins. How dare you?
Oh, sorry, they're your cousins, and cousins are stupid.
Just try, because they're talking about Battlefield and all this stuff. I'm like, hey, look, all great games.
Wait. Battlefront?
Star Wars, Battlefront, I'm sorry. Well, no, Battlefield, too. Battlefield's a war game.
I don't know. Okay, I think you could just put any two words together, and they're like a Call of Duty game or something like that.
Pretty much.
Like anything that sounds violent.
The new Call of Duty is awesome. And then I was talking to my one cousin's kid who's 15, and he's like, yeah, I remember, my friend had a house he was renting, and there was a really old system in there. I was like, oh, which one? The Nintendo 64. I was like, that's old, but really old? Oh, man.
Yeah, that was really, really old when we were, in our 20s.
Yeah. So, but it was cool. It was cool. How was your Thanksgiving? You were busy.
Yeah, I did stuff. So, stuff was done. The end. And yeah, so, and I know, just for our listeners' sake, we realized last week's episode was technically the episode after Thanksgiving, but because Larry and I were traveling and all over the place, we had to pre-record that episode. So this is technically our post-Thanksgiving episode, even though we're a week and a half after Thanksgiving.
Surprise!
Does everybody understand that? Okay, good. So, so my Thanksgiving was really good. Okay, so started off on an awesome note. I got to kick an item off my bucket list, even though the item was never on my bucket list, but nonetheless,
it was added post-haste.
Exactly. It was added after it was completed, but I got to be a balloon handler in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
That's cool.
Which was absolutely amazing. I got to carry, or help carry, so to speak, the Grinch balloon. Mm-hmm. My older sister was also a balloon handler as well, so that was kind of cool. We had a great time. For anybody out there who's ever interested in being a balloon handler for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, I will issue you one stern warning. No, it is not easy. There is work involved. It is about, I want to say, from the minute the balloon is up in the air, you are carrying that sucker for about 3.5 hours. Well, it depends. I guess we wound up carrying that thing for a good 3.5 hours because it depends. where your balloon ranks in the parade determines how long you're holding the sucker. So, so if you're going first on the parade, you're starting off nice, between 9 and 9:30, and it takes about 90 minutes to walk the route.
Okay.
Our balloon was second to last.
Yeah.
So,
right in front of Santa.
So we had to pick up our balloon and then hold the balloon for about an hour and a half before we started walking.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah.
Holy cow!
Yeah, and there's a lot, and you know what, and it makes complete sense, and I'm sure everybody else did that too. So I'm assuming if you handle any balloon, it's about a 4-hour thing once you pick up what they call the bone, which holds the rope.
Okay.
It takes a long time to get it in the air and then get it situated perfectly because you've got so many people holding different ropes. It's like everybody's got to raise theirs at the same time, and then they need to adjust it to see which side is sagging, which side's not. Our ropes, because it was a new balloon and they were trying to determine how to work it, a bunch of the ropes got stuck around one of the Grinch's legs, so we had to fight to get the ropes free, and then they were all tangled, and literally the handlers are playing like do-si-do, spinning around each other trying to figure out how to untangle. It's like trying to untangle a yo-yo.
Oofa.
I mean, except it's a 50-foot balloon. But otherwise, I mean, it was absolutely awesome. Had a great time. But it was definitely a workout. But just walking down in the parade, surrounded by 3.5 million people, was just totally cool.
Yeah.
So definitely a Thanksgiving I'll never forget. And then the rest of my trip in New York was really awesome. I got to see you. I got to see a bunch of other friends. New York gave me a very wonderful gift while I was there. That I took back with me, which was this little thing called bronchitis.
Ooh,
and,
nice!
I got some wonderful meds from my doctor once I got back here.
You're not used to the cold, are you?
I guess not. I mean, either that or New York just hates me now. Feelings mutual. You. So it's just one of those things. But it's funny because I'm still on the mend. I'm still on my meds, which is great.
Bronchitis is terrible.
It just lingers.
It does.
So, but then obviously, Thanksgiving was great. Frankie, one of our number one fan,
yes,
on the Retro Gamers. Frankie, while I was in New York, got married. So congratulations to the new Mr. and Mrs. Messina.
Congratulations. Wish I was there.
Yeah. You were there.
I was. I saw that. Yeah,
you were there in spirit. We took a picture with a photo of you on our cell phones. So you were there. So that was also a great thing to do while I was in New York. And then of course wedged in there was Black Friday.
Yes, and I remember
you all know how wonderful Black Friday is.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I would never physically go shopping on Black Friday. But
I used to.
Really? I could not. I just can't.
Well, you know what it was? I used to do it until I learned a very interesting lesson in my head. Not the fact that everybody's crazy, because that never bothered me. I love watching people fight over a $3 toaster.
Honestly.
No, I really do. It's like it's the best kind of television because it's real. It's like even better than reality TV, which isn't real. So it's just the best kind of television. But once I realized that I no longer needed doorbuster items.
Mm-hmm.
Like once you realize you don't have to physically go to the store, because the only reason to go to the stores is for a doorbuster, because those are the ones in store only, open at 4 a.m. You got to get there. Everything else, all of their sales are online.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you can just go online and order them. You can even order stuff on sale and then go pick it up the next day and just go to pickup and not worry about the craziness. So to me, Black Friday, there's really no point to going there unless you want a doorbuster item. And if anything, the sales results that came out were proof positive of that, because Amazon was responsible for 50% of Black Friday sales.
That's the thing. And like, why bother getting it, especially in some of the, like here in New York, people are animals when it comes to Black Friday. And like every year there's a story on the news of people being trampled, punched, shot. Look, it is what it is. But if you can just buy it on Amazon, besides the ease and delivery, meanwhile, our buddy Frank, co-host of The Better Half, he's going to be working overtime because he works for the post office.
Yes, I've seen many pictures of the inside of his mail truck.
Oh my God, it's filled to the brim with Amazon boxes.
Amazing, absolutely amazing.
But and it's just the convenience of shopping online. But now they have Cyber Monday, which is now turned into Cyber Week.
Yeah, now it's Cyber Week.
Exactly.
So we're as we're recording this, we're technically still in Cyber Week.
Yes, and I have to check some of the deals because being in Florida, being in what's called Homosassa, Florida, which is about an hour north of Tampa.
Lord, that's not a real place.
Actually, it's a beautiful place, to be honest with you. Nice. The manatees
okay.
are there. We went manatee watching. Manatee came up to the boat. It was actually really cool.
Manatee watching.
Yeah, big fat sea cow.
Okay.
They're vegetarians.
I believe you.
They're kind. They're gentle creatures.
Sure.
So my internet access wasn't 100% the best. So I myself had some trouble shopping for those deals. I ended up kind of working out. I ended up getting I know you did better on the game side of it.
I definitely did do better on the game side.
I did good with the because that's the time when digital HD movies, television shows, those go on sale. So I stocked up pretty good on those, like through iTunes, through Vudu.
Yeah.
Bought a lot of TV seasons that were on sale. Seinfeld, the complete series. How I Met Your Mother, the complete series. Batman, the animated series. The complete series. Nice. So that's
I want that. I want that Batman animated series too.
Yeah, that was my shopping. Unfortunately, I really couldn't get to games because they do, and I'm going to check in a little while. PlayStation, Xbox, even Nintendo, because they'll sometimes have their sales online.
I'll save you all the trouble right now because I just so happen to be on GameStop for the Cyber Week sale, and I've got a deal for you.
Oh,
you can pick up for either PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360, or Nintendo Wii U. You can get the Voice video game based off of the reality show The Voice, right?
Yeah.
For 7 cents.
I gotta go.
Dude, I'm not even kidding. 7 cents.
Really?
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the sale right now. You can also pick up Call of Duty Ghosts on the PC for 7 cents. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare for the PC for 7 cents.
Are you looking? Good Lord, that is hysterical.
Well, yeah, because who's gonna play it?
Well, Ghost was good.
Well, no, Call of Duty. Yes, I'm talking about The Voice. Who's gonna play The Voice?
And then get that Ebates going, 2.5% cash back on 7 cents.
Ooh, baby. So in terms of Black Friday shopping, I did not do the DVD one because I was in New York. I was surrounded by family and they were torturing me. So I didn't have a lot of time to do shopping. So I just hid in a corner. I hid in a corner somewhere. Plus my laptop is so bad now. Like I can barely get the thing to function.
Oh.
Like, I turn it on, and it does this stupid thing where the disk is always full, and I went online and found all the ways to fix it. None of it works. Mm-hmm. I even tried formatting the sucker. Does not work. So my laptop, RIP, HP laptop, I loved you. You were great, but you're dead. But one of the first deals I did take advantage of before we start talking about video games is I bought a laptop. On Black Friday, which worked out really nicely for me because it was funny too because there were so many laptops to choose from that were on sale, and I just I honestly didn't know what to get. Mm-hmm. And I wound up picking up another HP because I'm not gonna lie, like the HP laptop I had was great, ran really really well. I think I've had it for 5 or 6 years for a laptop. I think that's a decent run.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I won't say that's bad at all.
So I picked up another HP at Staples.
Okay.
And I think it was like $379, but the original price was like $630 or something. So it was like $150 off.
Not bad.
Yeah, and you know what? Like when I turn this laptop on, I'm not kidding you. It takes like maybe 5 seconds, and I'm at the login screen. I'm like, oh my god! I was like, why haven't I done this sooner? Of course, eventually I'll load it up with enough crap that I'll completely destroy it.
Of course.
But at the moment, it's super sweet, absolutely awesome. Very happy with my laptop. And then my other Black Friday, in terms of video games, I wound up picking up a lot of the stuff I picked up were newer games because they were on sale. So like I picked up South Park, the Fractured Butthole.
Okay.
But for I think it was $30, so it was half off.
Not bad. Not bad.
Picked up WWE 2K18 for PS4,
About time.
which we're gonna have to start playing. And I think I got that for $30. I got Horizon Zero Dawn for $20.
Okay, you gotta let me know how that is.
Yes. Well, the reason why I picked up is because my cousin Michael, who listens to the show, big fan,
Hey, Mike.
I'm going to talk. What's up, Mike? I'm going to talk about him momentarily about something else, but he just would not leave me alone. He's like, "You have to buy this game." He's like, "It's the best game ever." It's like, "You have to buy it. And I finally just told him, okay, I was like, "Fine, shut up, I'll buy it." I was like, and I bought it. But you know what? I mean, him recommending it because I know he's like me. It's like we don't have a lot of time to play games, so we tend to play the ones that are really, really awesome. So he recommended it. I'm definitely looking forward to playing it. And then the other two games I picked up were and these fit more the retro gamers realm. Kingdom Hearts, the Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5.
Oh, okay.
Mix, for PS4, that was on sale for $20. And then Kingdom Hearts 2.8, which is going to be in preparation for the new one.
2.8.
I don't know. 2.8 makes no sense to me, but whatever. I'll roll with it.
Yeah, no, those are and they're like multiple games because I have those for the PS3. They just re-released them for the PS4, like you were talking about. And they have like, if I'm not mistaken, they each have like the respective Game Boy Advance games. I think the PSP version or PS Vita. No, some other version.
Yeah, there's
a couple games.
Well, no, there are quite a few games for there are a number of games for the Kingdom Hearts genre or whatever franchise on the handheld.
Mm-hmm.
They just kept making them.
Yeah, it was easy. It was like a card-based system.
Yeah, and that's what Chain of Memories was, and that's where I got stuck in the Kingdom Hearts franchise because I played through 1, absolutely loved 1, and then 2 came. Then there was 1.5 and 2, and I'm like, all right, I picked up 2, but I wanted to finish Chain of Memories before I got to 2 because if anybody knows me when I game in order. I was like, I just have to. I don't know why. I was like, it's just a compulsion.
The story plays out.
Right. So I never finished Chain of Memories, and as a result of that, I've never played Kingdom Hearts 2.
I just never played Kingdom Hearts 2 because I never got around to it.
So I've owned Kingdom Hearts 2 for like, what, over a decade. And I've never played it. It's kind of it sits on my shelf like Tomb Raider 3, the games that will never be played because I did not beat the game before it.
The island of misfit games.
Yeah, basically. The island of unplayed sequels. So I picked up the Kingdom Hearts games and to be honest with you, that was it. I behaved. GameStop had a buy 2 get 1 free on used games, and I had my friggin' cart full of I had 6 GameCube games in there, just ready to buy.
GameCube, right? Ever since we talked about it, it's all been about GameCube.
Yeah, it's like because I've never played the tentpoles. I never played Mario Sunshine, Luigi's Mansion, Mario Kart Double Dash.
Oh,
there's so many,
awesome.
So many games on there. Eternal Darkness, which is another game my cousin pointed out to me. So I did not buy any of those. However, a couple of things I did wind up picking up was actually a gift from my cousin, which I posted on our Facebook page. He gave me as a gift his Sega Saturn that was sitting in his attic collecting dust.
That is, I mean, just the fact that he gave you the Saturn, that's a big deal, my friend. That is awesome. Look at that.
No, that is really awesome. And it's my first time ever having a Saturn, so I'm looking forward to. I do plan on live streaming it at some point this weekend.
Cool.
As of this recording, I didn't realize there was a cartridge input.
I think that's more for memory.
Saturn.
I think you can expand the memory. Yeah, it's
for memory expansion. So he gave me the Saturn, and then he gave me this lovely little Ziploc bag full of games.
That's a lot of games, actually.
No, it's a lot of games. And he told me he has the cases for them. He has the box for them, but he couldn't find them.
Okay.
So when he finds the boxes, he's gonna send them to me because I told him, I said, don't you dare throw out the boxes. I was like, I need the boxes. I was like, please. So we got Virtua Fighter 2.
Nice.
which came with the Sega Saturn. You can see it says not for resale on the side.
Ah, very nice.
Yeah,
not for resale.
In other words, you got it free. Don't sell it.
Yeah, in other words, just sell it back to GameStop.
Yep. So Fighters Mega Mix, which will be interesting to play. Daytona USA,
nice.
which was also a launch title with the Saturn. World Series Baseball '98, which I'll never play. 3D Baseball, which I'll never play.
A lot of baseball. Cousin likes baseball.
What?
Your cousin likes baseball.
My cousin's a big baseball fan. He likes sports stuff. He's got Manx whatever this is, Superbike.
Oh, okay.
Iron Man Exo Manowar.
I had that.
I had that for PlayStation.
Yeah, me too. Yep, that should be much better. Awesome. I hope on the Saturn.
The ever popular Spot Goes to Hollywood.
I love that someone took their time to make that on the Saturn.
I just love the fact that 7-Up actually wound up making not one game but multiple games, multiple video games based off of their red Spot.
It's like him and the Noid.
Virtual Cop.
Ooh, I love that game. Yes.
Yeah, that game was awesome. Panzer Dragoon, also a launch title.
Classic.
Excellent game. Looking forward to playing
that.
What
a goofy name, Dragoon.
I know. That's stupid. Anybody who names himself Dragoon is stupid. NBA Action 98.
Okay.
Some basketball fun. College Slam Basketball for some college basketball fun.
Sweet.
A game called Blast Chamber that I've never heard of. And last but not least, the one I probably will play, NHL 97.
Good year. It's like a fine one.
Good year. So like, despite all the games I purchased on my own, I think this was really the gift that made me the happiest. So thank you, Cousin Mike. You are awesome for giving me your Saturn. I promise it will be kept clean and tidy and in my museum of video game systems.
Now, here's my question.
Yes.
Do you have room for the Saturn?
So,
I take that as a no.
Well, okay. So my answer is not yet. So I looked at my little setup with my 20. I think it has 18 systems on it.
Okay.
I have more. I have 21, but there's just no room. So I sized out. I noticed that some of the shelves. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of space above the consoles because some of the consoles are flat.
Yeah.
So there's space above them. So I measured out all the ones that have extra height.
Mm-hmm.
I plan on going to IKEA this weekend and buying shelves that fit in there.
Oh, you can buy shelves just for that?
I don't know. What I'm hoping is, because it's IKEA, they sell shelves.
They sell everything and meatballs.
Right. I'm hoping they have shelves that are those dimensions, so I can just add shelves to this thing on my own. Otherwise, I have to buy another piece. And to be honest with you, I don't think they have another piece to fit my system. So at this point, it's like I have to make my own thing.
Oh, man.
So that's where I'm at with that.
You could be jerry-rigging stuff. Oh, it's going to get dangerous.
And then, but just to get back to the shopping. So that was Black Friday. Cyber Week hits, and it's just short story. Cyber Week hits, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna behave. I'm not really gonna buy anything. And then I went back on GameStop for the buy two get one, and I'm like, no, stay away, because I'm bleeding video game money for all of these games. So I decided, but then it just so happens, Facebook has a marketplace, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, leave it to Facebook. They have all the algorithms, and they know what I click on. So the top things they always show me are video game related things.
Oh man, how do I get that?
Because those are all the things that I click on when I'm in the marketplace. Mm-hmm. And somebody on Thursday I just so happened to randomly look on Thursday, and there was something up, and I'm like, wow. I was like, okay, I'm interested, and I messaged the guy. And he's like, oh yeah, he's like, it's still available. He's like, do you want to meet tonight? And he lives in my neighborhood.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, so you know what? On the way home, I'll pick it up and everything like that. And so I got from him, and this makes me very excited. I got from him the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker original soundtrack from Japan.
Wow, that's cool.
For $25.
Okay.
Okay. It's a dual disc.
Okay.
So, and it, according to him, he bought it downloaded it to his computer.
Ripped it. Okay.
He ripped it, and that's it. And then he sold it.
Oh, okay.
So basically, even the booklet, it's never been opened.
Yeah, that's really crisp.
So
look at that.
yeah, it's beautiful, absolutely
That's
beautiful.
Cool.
I haven't listened to it yet, so I hope it works. But that wound up being my big Cyber Week purchase until today when I go on GameStop and buy a bunch of clearance items because they have the Super Mario Monopoly game for $15, and I'm not letting that slide.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
So Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, it's got 133 tracks.
What? Oh, there must be like a lot of like minute tracks or something like that.
I'm sure. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm sure a lot of them are short.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was released in 2002 according to the copyright. And yeah, it's just in perfect condition. I was like, I really couldn't pass this up.
Yeah, it's really nice.
When he showed it to me, I just handed him money. I was like, cool.
Take it all. I want the CDs.
So yeah, exactly. So that was actually my big Cyber Week purchase so far, and I'm really happy that I randomly found that. So I got my Sega Saturn, I've got my Spirit Tracks. I plan on going nowhere this weekend, even though I have a whole bunch. Actually, I'm going to be out all day today, unfortunately. But tomorrow I am busy all day also. So so I'm never playing these things.
Just going to turn into a museum.
Basically, I mean, all I really need to do now is I should just get a glass case and put everything in them.
Ooh, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, it would be if I had room for a glass case. Plus, I have a glass case and 2 cats probably don't mix.
Oh, not at all.
I'm trying to figure out if 2 cats and a Christmas tree will mix, but I already know the answer to that too.
Oh, that's right. It's gonna be the first Christmas with these two.
It's my first Christmas with my cats. I will be putting up my Christmas tree either today or tomorrow, and then probably within the day it'll be on the floor.
Thank God my parents' cat wants nothing to do with the Christmas tree.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Yeah, but where are you putting your Christmas tree? And I don't see a spot.
Actually, I do have a small Christmas tree that comes up. As Anthony knows my apartment and sees the shelves there, probably comes up to about the second shelf height-wise.
Okay.
So I usually put it right there, right in front, like where the fan is right now. And then I tend to decorate the unit, the TV unit that has the video game systems on it. I'll lace that with Christmas lights and stuff to try and make it wholesome because I don't invite anyone over anyway because I live like a hermit. So
I can tell.
So I'll tend to do and plus I got to clean everything up here. So maybe I'll put Christmas lights around the Budio.
Well, before you do that, you really need to head out to GameStop because there's some in-store only things that you need to grab, like this Hello Kitty tote bag I sent you.
Wow. Buy new for 14 cents.
14 cents.
Ah, new.
There's a Legend of Zelda Shield blinking light necklace for 24 cents.
There is also for $10, down from $20, the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Funko Pop box set. Son of a gun.
Yeah, so bottom line is GameStop's got a wicked... And again, this is a collectible sale. It's not video game sale.
Yeah.
But I mean, they still have a video game sale. They're still doing buy two, get one on used games for sure.
I saw that. Not as much. There's some vintage on there.
Well, no, actually, no, there are games on here because The Voice was 7 cents. Batman Arkham
Look, you
Knight
already
for
sold me. You already sold me.
I know. Batman Arkham Knight for PC is 48 cents.
Oh, okay.
So, unfortunately, when this episode drops, the Cyber Week deal
yeah, so all this will be mute for all of you.
No, it won't be mute. It'll be moot. So, just to be correct. So anyway, that was Black Friday and Cyber Week for me. You didn't do anything for Black Friday or Cyber Week for you.
I was in Florida.
Well,
I'm better off. Right
now,
now, I can't afford to do anything.
Well, I know that this show has broken us both.
It really has. And I got Comic-Con coming up next week. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, you're doomed.
Oh, forget about it. Oh, well. Well, we'll see what happens. Today's for us as we record. Last day for Cyber Week. We'll see, because I got to start stocking up on Super Nintendo games.
Oh,
I
that's
got
right.
You
got your Super...
The Super NT.
Yes. Oh, that's right. The Super NT's coming.
Yeah. In February. Well,
I wish you
as of right now.
I wish you the best of luck with that. And I want a review for sure because it looked really awesome.
If it's anything like the Hyperkin, and I really wish they would put out a Super Nintendo, I haven't seen it yet. But if it's anything like the Hyperkin, this thing should be pretty sweet. So, but that's in February. Right now, this was Cyber Week, and I'm glad everyone had a great Thanksgiving, and I'm glad you didn't fly away with the balloon.
Thank you. My sister almost did.
Did you really?
I didn't share that story. Yeah, she, they taught you in the balloon training video, because it's a balloon training video, that if
I want to see this video.
If the bone you're holding on to with the rope starts to, like, you're supposed to keep your hands at your waist. If you start to rise and your hands start to go over your head, you're supposed to drop the bone. Now, my sister, when we were raising the balloon, wasn't holding the bone correctly, so she couldn't unwind the rope.
Yeah.
So she her arms just start going up. And instead of what the video taught you was to drop it, I turn around because I hear, help, help, help. And I turn around, I'm like, let it go. And one of the balloon pilots runs over and he's just like, let go, let go, let go. Because I literally saw her pretty much completely stretched and ready to go up.
That is awesome.
And I think we can end on that.
All right, Ann, I've been craving it during the holiday season, during Thanksgiving. What do we got with Wacky Retro this week?
I know, Wacky Retro is like, the stuffing to your turkey. So this week's Wacky Retro game is actually from a developer who has appeared on our Wacky Retro game segment before. This week's Wacky Retro game is called Attack of the Mutant Camels. The game was developed by a developer called Llamasoft. Now, Llamasoft appeared on Wacky Retro before when we decided to feature the game called Llamatron, which was pretty much a ripoff of Robotron.
Absolutely. I gotta tell my cousin about that. She loves llamas.
Yep. Well, there you go. Well, this time Llamasoft is back with Attack of the Mutant Camels. On the Atari 8-bit and the Commodore 64, it was released in 1983.
Oh.
What is Attack of the Mutant Camels, you may ask?
That's what I was going to ask.
I know. Well, I will tell you. The player controls a small jet plane and is tasked with killing giant yellow camels before they reach the home base. Doing so requires several dozens of shots per camel. So you got to shoot the camel incessantly. The camels retaliate by shooting fireballs from their mouth. God forbid it would be, acid spit, if that might make sense. But no, they shoot fireballs. If a camel reaches the base, the game was over. Once all camels on a level had been killed, the player had to survive a hyperspace sequence, which required avoiding high-speed missiles. Don't know why. And then once you made it to the next level, there were a whole new wave of camels that made it even harder for you to survive. Never-ending mutant camels. Attack of the Mutant Camels by Llamasoft, that is this week's Wacky Retro game.
All right. So, and unfortunately, I got the notification that you did it, but I wasn't able to actually watch it. You were playing some vintage gaming the other day on our Facebook page.
That I was, and I was crushed when you didn't join the stream, Larry. I'm not going to lie.
Poor connection.
That hurt a lot. I'm the only one who's allowed to skip streams because of my West Coast issues.
I was taking down a Christmas tree at my parents'.
Well, okay. Well, for your parents, I can let it slide, but only because it's your parents. Hi, Butch. Hi, Beth. So on a whim on Friday evening, I thought, I don't know why, I was just in the mood lately to play Goonies 2 for the NES, and I don't know if you've ever played Goonies 2, but
not in a long, long time.
Yeah, and the funny thing about Goonies 2, the first thing I always found out funny about Goonies 2, when I was a kid, I thought the title of the game made sense because I'm like, there was a Goonies movie, and then the video game was a sequel to the movie because we never got a sequel to the movie. I had no idea that there was an original Goonies game. I found this out obviously much later as an adult, but when I was a kid, I had no idea.
Yeah, when you told me about that, didn't you discover it One of your trips to Japan?
Well, yeah. Yeah, when I went to Super Potato,
Yes.
And I was buying my Famicom games, I happened to see Goonies 2, and then sitting right next to it was Goonies 1, the video game. And I'm like, that never came out in the States. And it turns out they never released that in the U.S. on the NES.
Yeah, and it was funny because, like you said, I thought the same thing. Growing up, I'm like, oh, that's weird. They made the sequel to the movie is the video game. I'm like, that's kind of interesting. I guess that could work. But then, of course, all that shattered when you discovered the original Goonies video game in Japan.
Well, I like to shatter dreams. What can I tell you?
That's what you do.
I do it very well too. But yeah, so there was an original Goonies game, which, by the way, I've yet to play. I have it on the Famicom. I just haven't gotten a chance to play it yet, but I will. But Friday night, I was just in the mood to play some Goonies 2 because I remember loving that game when I was a kid. Because I loved the movie so much. So basically, when you're a kid, I'm sorry, any video game based on a movie you're going to love. No matter
absolutely.
How bad the game is. I remember playing Back to the Future incessantly because
yes.
I love the Back to the Future movie. Now, you play that Back to the Future game now, when you don't have the mind of a child, and it sucks.
Terrible game.
It absolutely
but you're
sucks.
right. It was just because you saw, and they used to pump out games based on movies left and right. So it was like, oh, I'm playing the movie, like you said, not kind of realizing
I'm playing the movie.
Concept
this is
of
awesome. E.T. was the best Atari game ever. But so I started playing Goonies 2. Now I beat the game when I was a kid. I remember beating the game and it was awesome. But I started streaming the game and I'm bouncing around having a good time and I'm like, oh, okay. And for those of you who've never played Goonies 2 for the NES, you play as Mikey, who's the lead Goonie, and all the other Goonies have been captured by the Fratellis, and you need to save them.
Okay.
And the way you save, and you save them by running around collecting items that you need to use to get access to them, and then they're all locked in cages that you need a key to unlock.
Mm-hmm.
Now, going through the game, no problem. Finding the Goonies, actually, surprisingly, not that much of a problem because my brain still remembers a good chunk of the game.
You're good. Your muscle memory is really good when it comes to games.
With gaming, my muscle memory is great, especially with this game because it's very confusing.
Okay.
There are a lot of because it's one continuous game. It's kind of like a side-scrolling. I don't want to compare it to this because it's such a great game, but it's like a side-scrolling Zelda.
Okay.
Not like Adventures of Link, but like just full-on side-scrolling because you'll go into a door and then you'll go out another door and be in a completely different area. So it's interesting how they made the world up, but it's also very confusing because you don't know exactly where you are at times. But having played the game so many times, it wasn't too hard for me. What I forgot about the game, which was the biggest headache, is there are you can only find a certain number of keys.
Oh.
Right.
That's right.
And when you run out of keys, the only way to get more keys is to kill enemies and hope that it randomly gives you a key.
Oh, that's annoying. I forgot about that.
Right, which could be annoying. So and then on top of that, if you die in the game, like when die to the point where you have to press start to continue playing, any keys you have gets wiped out. So if you found keys in rooms, and I think you can only find 6 keys in total in rooms. Mm-hmm. If you find the keys and then you die, you lose them all.
They don't regenerate back in the room.
No.
Terrible.
Right. So then you're just left with running around killing enemies until they randomly drop a key. So I start playing the game and I find the keys and then I'm opening up things because I don't exactly remember where items are. And some of the boxes that you unlock don't give you items, they give you hints, which I don't need because I know how to play the damn game. So needless to say, I open all the wrong boxes and get the hints instead of the items. And then I'm finding all the Goonies and I can't unlock them from the cages because I don't have any keys.
Oh man. How long did you play?
I played for about 50 minutes. That's 50. I played for almost an hour.
And at one point, I was going to say, what point did you run out of keys?
I ran out of keys probably 15 minutes in. 15 or 20 minutes in, I'm out of keys. I'm running around trying to find more keys. I'm finding I'm finding all the Goonies. Like, I know where they are. I found the entrance to the underwater area. I found the holes that you have to climb up with the ladder. I have no keys to unlock any of these things. So finally, I'm almost an hour in, and then I literally wrote on Facebook, I'm like, guys, I'm sorry, I can't find any keys. I can't get any further in the game.
I'm done. Good night.
And I'm done. Good night. And that was the end of my live stream. So
that's pretty funny.
Needless to say, it was a great trip down memory lane. I loved playing Goonies 2 as a kid. I loved beating Goonies 2 as a kid. But my God, that was like the biggest waste of an hour I've ever had playing a video game. Oh, and needless to say, the other complaint about Goonies 2 is, I don't care what you say, the fact that you magically turn the lead girl from the movie into a mermaid in this game makes no sense to me whatsoever. I don't know what the guys developing it were thinking, but you're nuts.
It's like the Star Wars game on NES, well, for the Famicom, where the first level boss is Darth Vader, but like halfway through the fight, he turns into a giant scorpion.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, who thinks up these things? Well, Japan, but yeah, there are just so many weird things that they come up with in games that you really don't need. It's like, I could have just lived with a straight up Goonies 2 game. They captured the Goonies, save all the Goonies, Fratellis get arrested at the end. I didn't need to find out that there was a mermaid at the end of this. It didn't really mean anything.
Return of the Octopus.
Yes, the Return of the Octopus. Oh my God! When they used to put the Goonies on television back then, they used to show the octopus scene.
Exactly. They needed to fill up time for television.
Exactly. And I remember editing together on my VHS tape an uncut version of the film.
I never knew you did this.
Yeah, before DVDs came out and you can watch uncut version of the film. Which, by the way, there's still no uncut version of Goonies.
Really?
They have the deleted scenes on the DVD, but they never released like a full uncut version because there are two key scenes in the movie that they cut. One of them was the octopus scene, which for some odd reason they had Data reference at the end of the movie without explanation in the theatrical release. And the second scene was when they first start riding out the group of them. Okay. They stop at a convenience store.
I remember that scene.
Yeah. And that's where the map gets burned because Troy lights the map on fire. Because for the rest of the movie, the top of the map is singed, and you find that out when Andy is trying to play the music notes on the piano because you can see that some of them are burned. They never explain that because they cut the scene out. But they've never released an uncut scene. So Richard Donner, if you're listening, because you're not, I want a DVD release of the uncut version of the Goonies so I can watch it in peace.
Wait a minute. Richard Donner directed that?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Well, if his Superman 2 cut is anything like what the Goonies cut could be.
Exactly. I want a Goonies cut. And
not only that, but recently, speaking of Superman, they just released like the TV version of Superman the movie, which has like 40-something minutes of additional footage because they needed, for your very reason, on television, they wanted it as a 2-night event, but they needed new scenes to fill in the time.
That's kind of awesome.
So they went back or they filmed some more stuff, and that DVD just came out. I think it's doing fairly good. Oh,
that's really cool. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
But also with the live stream, I think it's just cool, and that's what we're gonna really, for those of you listening, which hopefully it's everybody. That's what we're going to start doing more. You're going to see more of these. We have the weekly streams that we do with Victims and Villains and with the PS Midnight Cast, which is fun. Oh, and actually, December is going to be games that we're thankful for. Nope, that was November.
No,
games we got for Christmas.
Yes, games we got for Christmas are going to be our weeklies.
And actually, I don't know who's up first, so you'll find that out this week. But once in a while, you'll see me and Ant hop on there. Maybe you'll see some guests hop on, just streaming, and that's really all it's going to be. Just playing some old games, having a good time. If you want to recommend any games you want to see us play, and if we own them or have them, we'd be more than happy to do it.
We will happily play them.
Yes, so definitely check it out. Check out the live streams, which you can find facebook.com/RetroGamersPodcast. That's where the streams will be. And when you see the streams, and a lot of groups do it, and we appreciate everyone who shares the streams, takes just a couple of seconds, hit that share button, let your friends, let your family, let the world know what's happening on the Retro Gamers Facebook page.
Yes, and one thing I definitely want to mention right now, because we talked about it in the last segment, there's a GameStop sale going on. And Larry, I just sent you a link.
Still looking at that page?
I am still looking at it, but this is awesome.
What is this?
On the GameStop page, they have it listed as the Golden Girls 1,000 piece puzzle, but the image of the puzzle is for Game of Thrones.
Oops,
big mistake.
And then piece together this 1,000-piece puzzle featuring Blanche, Rose, Dorothy, and Sophia, and the White Knight.
And Jon Snow.
Yeah. The White Walker's White Knight. What we're talking about. That is hysterical.
Yeah, that is awesome. So, but that was just, I just happened to find that while we were talking. But anyway, so
live streams.
Yeah, we're going to be live streaming a bunch of stuff. I'm going to be doing more random ones when I have time, which is not that often, but they're just going to be surprises. And
Same
it's fun.
here.
It's just fun to do
exactly.
it.
So check us out.
Check us out with our live streams when they happen to pop up, and please share them, because sharing is caring. It is.
It is. No, you're exactly right. And like I said, like we mentioned before, give a shout out to us on the Facebook page if you want to see us play anything. And if we're able to play it, we'll be more than happy to. And I think you'll start to see, Ant, now that you have the Saturn, I think it'll be cool to broadcast some of those.
Yes, I will be broadcasting some Saturn gaming, and that will be awesome.
And even maybe if you ever get that Commodore 64 hooked up.
Yeah, that, you know what? It's still sitting here in a in a giant container, and I've yet to take it out to play it, but it will be happening soon.
So again, check it out, facebook.com/RetroGamersPodcast. Hit us up on the posts. Let us know, let the world know what you want us to see, and we'll see what we can do. I know personally, ever since I've been doing these streams, I've actually been beating games, which I'm not known to beat games, so you may see me actually complete some more stuff. Just check them off the very short list right now.
Yeah, I know. It's definitely a special, a special moment for you, because I know you don't beat that many games.
Not really. I enjoy the gameplay, not necessarily looking to complete the story, just as long as I'm having a good time.
Yeah, I'm aware, and I'm getting scared now, because I used to beat games all the time, and as I've gotten older, I'm noticing I'm not beating them as well anymore. So,
well, you know what happens?
I am concerned.
I'm very prolific at like the first couple levels of many, many video games.
Yep.
So again, check us out on the Facebook page, like it, share it, love it.
All right, Larry, it's time for this week's cheat of the week, and it's actually not really a cheat, but it's kind of a funny little secret hiding inside the Goonies 2 NES game that we were just talking about.
Oh, okay. Is it the octopus?
No, it is not the octopus.
All right.
I know, I'm sorry. It was cut from the video game and the movie and all of our lives. But this little secret in the Goonies 2, it's really funny. So there's a character in the Goonies 2 when you go searching that will refill your energy, and he's called Konami Man. Now, the game was made by Konami, and they actually created a superhero called Konami Man who refills your energy. Now, when you find the secret door and you go into Konami Man, he tells you, he's like, I will heal you or whatever, and he refills your bars. However, if you happen to punch him or hit him with your hammer, for the rest of the game, he will no longer heal you because you hit him.
Oh no!
Yes, you hurt his pride.
What a vengeful superhero!
I know. So Konami Man is actually, Konami Man can hold quite a grudge. So if you do play Goonies 2 and you run into Konami Man, please, please, please do not hit him, or else he will not heal you for the rest of the game. And that is this week's really lame cheat of the week.
All right. So as we record here, I'm getting hungry. I do need some substance soon.
Well, we do record in the mornings, and it's usually first thing, so I can understand why you're hungry.
And breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
That's what I've been told. The jury is still out on that, because Well, you know what? Because all scientists are liars.
So, and speaking of breakfast, basically, Nintendo is putting their foot back in the cereal aisle by introducing a new cereal, Super Mario cereal.
Yes, for all of your super needs in the morning.
Makes you feel strong, like ox.
It makes you feel like jumping down a pipe and beating the crap out of mutant mushrooms and turtles.
So this cereal, and this is not Nintendo's first foray into the breakfast aisle, but the cereal, now collaboration between Nintendo and Kellogg, so this is going to be a good cereal. It's going to be coming out, basically coming out December 11th. It's going to be a limited run, which means it's going to go for a lot of money, probably in February.
Pretty much. So if I were you, I would definitely pick it up while you can. And then sell it for more money.
So the cereal itself is a let's see what we have here. So it's basically like a berry flavor cereal with power up marshmallows, a quote unquote blast of mixed berry flavor is the selling point there. And yeah, I mean, look, it's cereal. It's really not much to it. It's certainly, as you can see by the box, if you look online, it's all about Mario and Cappy from Super Mario Odyssey. So this is a tie-in with Super Mario Odyssey. But as usual with Nintendo, they can't leave well enough alone for a good reason by just having the cereal.
Of course not.
You know what? As I'm looking at the box now, they have marshmallow power-ups. Do they have marshmallow question blocks as well?
I believe that is correct.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you?
That.
But why wouldn't you want question box? That's where the mushrooms come
I want a marshmallow question block, and it's basically the marshmallows are the mushroom power up, and the 1-up.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I like that. I'm happy with that. What's wrong with that?
So, only 120 calories. Am I reading that right? That can't be right.
Well, not to rain on your parade with cereal, but there's actually. There's no nutritional value in cereal whatsoever, so it can be only 120 calories, but it's really 100 calories of crap.
But this cereal can be a lifesaver, just in a little bit of a different fashion.
Oh boy, and how can that be?
So here's how Nintendo puts their twist on everything. Once you're done with the cereal itself, the joy...
It's biodegradable?
Possibly. Maybe not, actually, because of what's included. The cereal itself is not biodegradable. No, that is not true. The box itself can actually be used as an amiibo to Super Mario Odyssey. And I think that's pretty cool.
That. I did hear that.
So in Super Mario Odyssey, with virtually a lot of Switch games, Wii U games, you have amiibo, which are little figures everyone knows about. And in Super Mario Odyssey, depending on the amiibo that you scan, you either get coins, a heart. You can even unlock. Normally, you'd have to purchase them, but you can unlock costumes by using the amiibo. But this is pretty cool because, trust me when I tell you, because Lord knows I have a ton of them. Once you buy one amiibo, you kind of keep going because you want to collect a bunch of them. So
that's why I haven't bought any yet.
No, and so this way you can buy the cereal and use the box. I'm assuming you probably cut out a piece. I can't imagine you having to keep the box and having to bump the box against the Switch controller every time you want to use it.
That would be very silly.
So you probably just cut out the amiibo part, and you can scan the amiibo part right to the game, and you get either coins or heart. So Nintendo is really, really, I mean, their marketing, I think, is genius with this cereal.
Oh, no, I mean, it's a great idea. It's like anybody who owns a Switch now is going to want to buy the cereal just for the amiibo.
Yeah, and it's a great way. Like I said, just cut out that piece.
That's why I'm going to buy the cereal, because I don't eat cereal anymore. One of the many, 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 many things I gave up as I got older and realized, oh, look, all this stuff's going to kill me. So
I'm going to put it right next to my box of Crustios.
Do you have a box of Crustios?
I do. No, and now I need to get a box of Bootios.
Oh boy, no! You don't need a box of Bootios because you got the ultimate Bootio.
I do, of course. Also, between the Crustios and Bootios, I just buy a box of Cheerios. Call it a day.
Well, here's the question though: are you going to buy the Mario cereal and are you going to eat it?
Oh, of course I'm going to eat it. What, are you kidding me? I'm not going to buy the box for no reason and throw it out. Who's going to do that?
Right. Well, So then after you eat it, we're going to have to get a full review of the cereal online because I'm not going to buy it and eat it.
I'll live stream myself eating the Super Mario cereal. How about that?
All right, folks, you heard that.
The entire box in one sitting.
No, now you have to. Now you have to because you said it.
Just because I say it doesn't mean it has to come true.
No. Now it's happening.
An entire box of cereal in one sitting.
I want to see you sit down and do an entire box. Look, I know I can do it. If I can do it, you can do it.
Is Josh going to hold me to this as well?
Actually, I think we should get Josh. You know what? We should get all four of us. Josh, Brandon, you, and me. We're going to get a four-way split screen of us live streaming.
Not a single syllable to be said between the four of us. Just simply
no words.
The sound.
Just four people eating cereal.
Milk, cereal, spoon.
Okay, so now I'm going to have to eat a box of this cereal.
Oh,
all
my
right.
God.
Challenge accepted.
So this is a new cereal coming out December 11th. Should be in your supermarkets, wherever you find cereal. But, Ant, do you remember the first time Nintendo tried putting out a cereal?
Yeah, this was not the first cereal from Nintendo. There was a cereal way back when in 1986, I believe.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
It was released. So it is the 31st anniversary.
Oof. And when still have those boxes.
Right? Of what was called the Nintendo Cereal System.
Yeah. Yeah,
which was a cute little name for it.
I remember getting it. I was all excited about it. I probably tried it twice. Again, Nintendo being Nintendo, it was two cereals in one.
Yes.
Now, when we say that, meaning there were two bags, two separate two separate sealed bags of cereal in this one box of the Nintendo cereal system. So, correct. In fact, when I was talking to Josh about it, Josh was like, "Oh, you got two cereals for the price of one." Not so much.
No. You got two half bags of cereal in one.
Exactly. So it was the Nintendo cereal.
You would go through it really quickly.
Yeah, it was weird because it still equaled one box of cereal.
Yeah, but you would go through whichever one you liked better you'd go through fast.
And that's what I'm going to ask you in a moment. But first, just kind of explain. So the Nintendo cereal system, it was Super Mario Brothers and The Legend of Zelda.
Correct.
It was the same type of cereal. It's like a corn, kind of just like a general, like a corn puff, almost like what would you say, like Fruity Pebbles or Fruit Loops, maybe?
Yeah, I was thinking more like a Fruit Loop or Crunch Berries,
something like that. Yeah,
something like that.
The Super Mario Brothers cereal was a fruity flavor. The Zelda was a berry flavor.
And also keep in mind that these also happen to come out around the same time, or not too long after that. We got the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, yes, which had animated episodes of Mario and Zelda.
Yep. And of course, you mentioned that. You got to mention a live action with Captain Lou Albano.
Well, of course. The late, great Captain.
And the Mario rap.
Oh, yes, the Mario rap. That's the part I forget.
I used to remember the rap, too.
Well, no,
it's the Mario Brothers, and we're here
No, but we talked about you singing on the show.
To the bridge.
Back to the cereal.
So the cereal also, they did have a lot of freebies as well with the Nintendo cereal system.
Yeah, well, of course they did. They were Nintendo.
Yeah. None of them were games, though.
No, none of them were games. First off, you got a power card on the back of every box.
Which is cool.
And there were 12 of them you could collect.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they were trying to sucker your parents into buying at least 12 boxes of their cereal.
Yeah.
Because you know how you wanted them all.
Absolutely. They're like Pokemon back in the day.
Yep. There was also an opportunity to enter into a contest to win a power pad for your Nintendo.
Cool.
Remember the power pad for like track and field games?
Absolutely. And also Super Mario, you can get a Super Mario cereal bowl you're able to win as well.
And a Legend of Zelda cereal bowl.
Yep. Oh, The Legend of Zelda. I don't remember the Zelda. I remember the Super Mario one.
They had both.
Oh,
they had
okay.
a Mario cereal bowl, and then there was a Zelda cereal bowl as well.
And the characters are pretty cool. Like in the Mario one, it was Mario, Super Mushrooms, Goombas, Troopers, Bowser. Zelda had Link, Hearts, Keys, Boomerangs, Shield. So no marshmallows. Yep. I think the marshmallow craze didn't hit till about the 90s.
No, yeah, they hit around the... no, that's not true. Lucky Charms was out then.
Well, Lucky Charms was like the only one.
Yeah,
and then
but you also got a sticker in the box.
Yes, that's right. Oh my God, I forgot.
You used to get stickers, and I wanted all the stickers too.
So this box, and it's a kind of a cool. It's like a black box with the screen, the split screen Mario, Zelda. Which weird for Nintendo. Mario really didn't look like Mario.
No, he definitely did not.
It's kind of odd.
Well, they it wasn't a straight video game lift. So. No.
Well, it was made by a company called Ralstone, who currently makes dog food.
Yeah, that actually kind of bothers me.
It almost makes sense.
Almost does, because I guarantee you, this stuff was probably good enough to be dog food.
Cereal ran from 1986 to discontinued in 1989, and most recently...
Can't imagine why.
Most recently in 2010... Now, I don't know if the cereal was still in the box or it's just the box, but a box of Nintendo cereal system sold on eBay for over $200.
That is... Wow. That is insane.
I think that's pretty cool.
That's absolutely insane. Did you also know that there was a contest on the cereal box at one point in time to win a Game & Watch?
Really? I did not know that. Oh, so they did kind of give out games.
Yeah, I just found a box of it that had the Game & Watch. No, well, they didn't... It wasn't a giveaway. It was a contest you had to enter.
Yeah.
And this also definitely was not the only cereal on the block either, for video games.
Tell me, Ant, what other video games had their own breakfast morning cereal?
Well, there was the Donkey Kong cereal, if you remember it. It was sweetened cereal, crunchy barrels of fun. That was the tagline.
Was it Donkey Kong like the arcade game Donkey Kong?
Yeah.
Maybe I do remember that.
Yeah, it was, and Mario's on the cover, of course, because it's Mario. And let's see, what else did they make? They made there was a Pac-Man cereal.
I remember that. In fact,
that one had marshmallows.
It did. There was Pac-Man, Super Pac-Man, because if you go to my YouTube page, More365, MOHR365, and you watch, I have an episode of Romper Room that I was on, me and my friend Ricky, and the commercials are still in it, and one of the commercials is the Pac-Man cereal.
Well, there you go.
And remember, the giant Pac-Man marshmallows were Super Pac-Man.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Super Pac-Man marshmallows. That's correct. Sonic the Hedgehog, he had a cereal at one point, which, to be honest with you, just looked like Cheerios.
Like Krusty O's.
Sonic Rings.
I don't remember that.
Do you remember New York? Do you remember Donkey Kong Jr. cereal?
I don't think these cereals were available in my local supermarket because I don't remember that.
Yeah, Donkey Kong Jr. cereal was they were banana shaped corn puffs, and then it had berries in it.
I think I do remember it now.
There you go.
Because I didn't want my cereal tasting like a banana.
Yep. And I know this was based off of a movie, but since it had such a horrible video game that almost crippled the entire industry, actually, there was an E.T. cereal. Do you remember those? They were peanut butter and chocolate flavored letter T's. Letter T's and letter E's. So you got E.T.
Letter T's, which I guess were then just recycled for the Mr. T cereal.
Right, and then there was the Mr. T cereal, but the Mr. T cereal was not peanut butter flavored, so they had to redo that.
It was Pity the Fool flavor.
Exactly. So I'm trying to think of other. I know there was a Pokemon cereal at some point in time as well.
Mm-hmm.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles got a cereal, even though that was a comic book.
At this point, we're going to have a cereal soon.
The Retro Gamer cereal. What would be in our cereal?
It would be. I feel like it would be little consoles, little mini consoles, and like little rectangles that's supposed to represent cartridges.
Okay, I'll buy that.
And the marshmallows. The marshmallows would be, well, it's a podcast, so the marshmallows could be little microphones.
Well, there you go. I just figured it would just be all my face. That's it.
And we'll charge $59.99.
Exactly. So video game cereal. Well, it's nice that Mario is coming back with some video game cereal. It'll be interesting to see. Now, the most interesting thing about it is going to be our live stream of eating it. I think I finally found a reason to buy a new box of cereal.
Someone tell Josh and Brandon, be on the lookout, boys. We're eating cereal.
Larry, I know you love this segment every week since we introduced it because you get to learn a little something all the time. So for this week's Did You Know segment.
Yes, I love it.
So, and since I talked earlier about my awesome cousin Michael and his gifting me a Sega Saturn, I thought I'd do a little Did You Know on the Sega Saturn.
Oh, okay, cool.
So we all know the Sega Saturn was technically perceived as a commercial failure because it was outsold by the likes of the Sony PlayStation and the N64. Mm-hmm. However, there are some games for the Sega Saturn that actually outsold their counterparts on the Sony PlayStation.
Really?
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah, because the Sega Saturn still sold over 9 million units over the course of its life span. And the games that came out on the Saturn that sold better than on the PlayStation, and this is a very interesting list because there are a couple of surprises on it. Duke Nukem.
Wow.
Rayman.
Okay.
X-Men Children of the Atom.
I didn't even know that was available.
Yep. Marvel Superheroes.
Okay, I can see that.
And probably the most surprising one on the list for me, Street Fighter Alpha 1 and 2 both sold better on the Saturn than the PlayStation.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, that's a very interesting little fact. And that is this week's Did You Know?
And this week in gaming! What do we got, bro?
I want to somehow remix Josh's This Week in Gaming into like some sort of weird techno or announce the holiday like a Christmas.
Oh my God! Can we do like a Jingle Bells with This Week in Gaming?
If anyone can do that, if anyone has the talent to be able to mix Josh's This Week in Gaming into like a nice holiday song, let us know at the Facebook page.
Or send that to me and I'll take care of it.
Oh, all right. So Anthony just said, "Screw all of you." He's going to take care of it because he can do a better job.
That is not what I said, and at the same time, that is what I said. All right, moving on.
What do we got this week in gaming?
This Week in Gaming is going way, way, way back to 1971 this year.
Wow, that may be the furthest?
Might be the furthest we've gone. So 1971, we got the mainframe version of the Oregon Trail game. It was the basic version of Oregon Trail way back in 71. It was just called Oregon at the time.
I didn't even know that game even had its roots that long ago.
That it did.
Holy
that
cow.
It did. I had no idea either. While I was doing my research for This Week in Gaming, and just a little note on that. Oregon Trail was first developed in 1971 by 3 Minnesotan teachers.
That makes sense. Minnesotans.
Yep. It was played exclusively in one of the teachers' history classes at Carleton College.
Oh wow.
1971. That's the origin of Oregon Trail.
Learning early about dysentery.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody should know about dysentery after playing Oregon Trail.
Died from it so many times.
Okay, so now we're gonna jump. We're gonna go from 1971 to 1981.
Oh, okay. Good 10 years.
10 years later, and 36 years ago, we got the Game & Watch widescreen version of Fire in Japan.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know what the Japanese word for fire is. Otherwise, I'd say it.
Fire.
There you go. That works. Racist. 1982. 1982, we got the Game & Watch multi-screen in Japan of Greenhouse.
Oh,
I remember that one. Do you remember Greenhouse? That was a fun one.
That was.
I like that one a lot. 1983, Game & Watch multi-screen in Japan for pinball.
It is a popular week for Game & Watch.
Yeah, I feel like they just you know what I feel like we're getting to the holiday season now, so you're going to start seeing some trends in terms of game releases.
I'm going to do a quick little crossover, if you will, and sudden interruption, which we do on the Better Half. What is your all-time favorite Game & Watch game?
Oh, I don't know. I would probably say Popeye.
Okay. That's a good pick. That's a good pull.
That was a Game & Watch game, right?
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember playing that. You know what it is? I remember playing that one the most. That's
okay.
why.
Yeah, I like Oil Panic. That's my favorite.
Oil Panic was going to be my next favorite. That one was cool too because there was fire in it.
It was fire. Okay.
Fire! Jumping from 1983 to 1985 because nothing came out in 1984 this week in gaming. I literally looked for every possible system, console, PC, whatever. Nothing came out in 84. There was no Christmas in 84.
It was the year Santa forgot.
Yes, it was. Maybe it was the year of the game. It was part of the video game crash. So
That's
no game
true,
for
yeah.
you. 1985 on the Famicom system in Japan, we got Karateka. Do you remember Karateka?
I know there was a convention just recently. Karateka. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
no,
not
remember
that. Not erotica. Karateka. Karateka was a game I remember playing it on my Commodore actually, but there were three. There were three, if I remember correctly, three fighters. No, there were two. It was a karate game, and you had the referee there who would say "fight," and then you would fight.
Karate Fighter.
Oh no! Or was that Karate Champ? And
Karate Champ. Excuse me, Karate Champ.
No, Karateka was different. I think Karateka had three fighters on the screen.
Mayo.
I don't remember. Yeah. Anyway, that came out in 85. 1986 on the Famicom in Japan, we got RBI Baseball.
Ooh, nice.
One of the first fantastic baseball games. Like I wasn't a big baseball fan, and I loved RBI Baseball.
Yeah,
when I was a kid. In 1987, so this is the 30th anniversary of Microsoft Windows 2.0.
Wow.
And Microsoft Windows 2.0 actually did come with games. It came with a game called Reversey. Do you remember Reversey?
Oh, Othello.
Othello. Yeah. The board game Othello came on Windows back in 1987.
Wow.
Yep. 1988 on the TurboGrafx CD in Japan, the first Street Fighter was released.
Okay. Fighting Street?
No, Street Fighter.
Okay.
Yeah. In 1989 on the TurboGrafx 16 in Japan, we got Shinobi. Do you remember Shinobi?
Oh, I love Shinobi.
Yeah, that was a fun game.
That game ruled.
1990,
Shinobi, it was in that game they had to change it when it came to the US because in Shinobi, or was it Revenge of Shinobi? One of the two, you fought Spider-Man and Godzilla.
Oh, well, yeah, that doesn't fly in the States. A little copyright issue here and there. Moving on to 1990 on the Famicom in Japan. There's a lot of Japan stuff this week. I don't know why. Stuff didn't come out in the States. On the Famicom in Japan in 1990, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, cool. All right. Hate that game.
And I must have been one of the people in the minority, but for the most part, people really didn't care for that game all that much. I mean, don't get me wrong. The second one, the arcade game, was fantastic.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely amazing. But I enjoyed playing the first one.
Maybe I'll give a shot at it again.
I just hated using Raphael because his weapons sucked.
I lost the sight.
Yeah, well, he had that tiny little size, so it was just so easy for you to get your butt kicked with him. So whenever he would lose, and you would be able to save your character, basically you would find him tied up in the sewer somewhere. I would just leave Raphael. I just never cared.
Aw.
I was like, you know what? You're useless to me. Moving on to 1991 on the Sharp X68000.
Cha-ching.
We really need to get this. Now, I'm going to try and say this correctly. Okay? On the Sharp X68000 in 1991, we got Daytona Twin B. Now,
one more time, please.
Daytona Twin B.
And I know what game you're talking about, I think.
Well, the reason why I said it that way is because the title has 2 exclamation points after the word Daytona. So I just felt like by default I had to scream it.
That sounds about right.
Is that right? All right.
You're the English major, right?
Yeah, no, that's fine. Came out December 6th, 1991, and it was actually a game you would like. It was a top-down shooter.
I really think I know which game you're talking about. That's why.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
good. Well, then there you go. I won't say it again. Moving on to 1992 on the Famicom in Japan. So we're still on Famicom games. Now remember, in Japan, they were making Famicom games until 2001.
Yeah, and also making them left and right.
Yeah, it was crazy. But in 1992, we got Mega Man 5.
Ooh, well, Rockman 5.
Or Rockman 5, yes. Rockman 5 in Japan.
That was a good one. I liked 5 in the series.
I don't remember 5.
Yeah.
I think I stopped at 4. But anyway, moving on. My next trip to Japan, I'm going to have to buy some more Rockman games. 1993 on the Super Nintendo. We actually talked about the sequel to this game before when I was going through my Saturn collection, my new Saturn collection. But 1993 on the Super Nintendo, we got Cool Spot.
Oh. Oh, so those are two different games. That's right, because I thought
there were three. Cool Spot was it was like an Othello version kind of game.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, because I had that for Nintendo, I believe. No, wait, or is that a third game? There was a spot game for Nintendo where it was kind of like it was like a board game, and you turned over, and it was like Othello where you would turn over your opponent's tiles. Cool Spot might have been the sequel, or it might have been the Super Nintendo version of that game, and then there was Spot Goes to Hollywood, which was an actual side scroller.
Yes,
with Spot character.
That I want to play.
Cool Spot came out in 1993.
Cool.
Moving on to 1994 for Game Gear, we got Lemmings.
Okay, I like Lemmings.
Remember the little Lemmings?
Yep.
1995 on the Sega Saturn in Japan. I thought I would throw a Saturn game on here this week. We got Hat Trick Hero S.
Okay.
It was a guy who could throw hats at you.
Super Mario Odyssey?
Basically. Yeah. Mario Odyssey 22 years ago without Mario. 1996 on the Nintendo 64, Star Wars Shadow of the Empire.
Classic.
Love that game. If you've never played that game, it's definitely worth picking up for the N64. Fantastic. 1997 on the Sony PlayStation, Duke Nukem 3D.
Ooh, nice.
Excellent. If you like first-person shooters. 1998 on the N64, another gem, Star Wars Rogue Squadron 3D.
Oh, sweet.
Rogue Squadron was an awesome game. I loved playing that game. 1999 on Windows, we got Quake 3 Arena.
Okay.
Remember the Quake series?
I do.
Which was awesome. In 2000, in Japan on the Wonder Swan Color.
I remember that.
Remember the Wonder Swan?
Yeah.
Final Fantasy was released.
Oh, cool.
On Wonder Swan.
Wonder
2000.
Swan.
2001 on PlayStation 2, a game you and I actually this was a great game for us as wrestling fans. Legends of Wrestling on the PlayStation 2.
Oh, yes.
It was the first time we actually got to play old school like 80s pro wrestlers from both WCW and WWF at the time. Where you got them to battle each other. It was like the first game where you can have like Hulk Hogan fight Ric Flair or Sting.
It was basically anyone who wasn't licensed to WWE or WCW really at that time, kind of, sort of.
Or ECW.
Yes. And I remember in college, the Acclaim came to my college. I went to Adelphi University in Garden City a couple of times for, what do you call it?
For a video game thing.
Hold on. Poll, that's right. They were taking a poll. And I remember they showed up before even announcing a game. They'd be like, what wrestlers would you like to see in a game? And I remember looking at the list. It was like Hogan, Rob Van Dam, Iron Sheik, Ultimate Warrior. I'm like, these guys aren't with anyone right now. And I'm like, are you guys making a Legends wrestling game? And like, they really couldn't say yes or no. So I'm like, you're making a Legends wrestling game.
And lo and behold, there you go.
And on a side note, that was also the day, because after I filled it out, they actually gave you like a free video game. Mm-hmm. And that's where I got a copy of Burnout, the first Burnout on PlayStation 2. Oh, fantastic series.
Excellent game.
Yeah.
But not part of This Week in Gaming.
No, but
moving on to 2002, on the Game Boy Advance, we got Street Fighter Alpha 3.
Okay.
I don't know how Street Fighter games play on such a small screen, but they make them all the time.
They got away with it.
2003, PlayStation 2, Xbox, and GameCube got Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the very first Harry Potter game based off the first book.
Oh, okay. Do you know the name of the book over in England?
It is the Philosopher's Stone.
Very good.
2004 on the Game Boy Advance, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories.
There you go.
The current bane of my existence. And then 2005 on the GameCube, Super Mario Strikers. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, soccer.
Yeah, Super Mario Strikers. It was a Mario soccer game. Mario has played everything. He plays every sport and plays it well.
Oh, absolutely.
And closing out this week in gaming for this podcast or this week's episode, we've got in 2006 on GameCube, Prince of Persia: The Two Thrones.
Okay.
That's a series I've always wanted to get into, and I never have. I really need to get into that series.
Yeah,
and that's just I know it's one of those. It's like a Tomb Raider-esque kind of thing, or at least that's the way I look at it. It's probably more action oriented, but definitely a series I should look into. And that is This Week in Gaming.
All right, excellent, good stuff, good stuff. So, Ant, you got anything happening coming up this week? Anything you want to plug, mention, anything?
No, just my inevitable bankruptcy from shopping.
Fair enough. I'll be with you there on the unemployment line.
Awesome.
And of course,
just bring your equipment so we can record our podcast.
Will do. That's bought. That's mine to own completely. So we're good there.
Yes, excellent.
Speaking of podcasts, check out the network of podcasts here at the More of the Same Network. Of course, Retro Gamers, we're here every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook.com/Retro Gamers Podcast. Find us on Instagram at @_Retro Gamers. And, of course, just do a search wherever you listen to podcasts, YouTube, just search the Retro Gamers. And remember the other shows for the More of the Same Network. We have the Better Half podcast. New episode will be December 13th. That's every other week. So be on the lookout, again, wherever you listen to podcasts. And we took off last week, but the Yin and the Yang is back this coming Thursday. Myself and Anthony Chu. So check that out.
Definitely listen to that.
And also going back to the Better Half with me and Frank Messina, remember, be on the lookout. And like those shows also have Facebook pages as well. Just do a search for them. And with the Better Half, I don't have it in front of me, but we do have a phone number. So we'll let you know when we're recording. Feel free to call in and talk about whatever you want.
Prank calls are welcome.
Yeah, we had 3 of them last time,
Nice.
so that was good.
Nice.
Still trying to figure out who that was.
I have a guess.
No, because the number I think it came from may not have been the number. I don't know.
Oh, gotcha.
But check them out. And now all shows on the More of the Same Network available on iHeartRadio.
Awesome. That is awesome news.
Yes, big time on that. And with that, we're going to call it a week. And glad to be back here. It's been a little while since we were recording because of the holiday.
Yes, always a pleasure, my friend.
Yes. And we'll check you all next week right here on the Retro Gamers. See ya.